The examiner asks the candidate to talk for 1 to 2 minutes and then stops the candidate after 2 minutes and asks 1 or 2 questions on the same topic. This part of the test focuses on the candidate's ability to speak at length on a given topic. It is likely that the candidate will need to draw on his or her own experience to complete the long term. Function words like prepositions and articles are often missed by students in these kind of sentences. So let's see if you can choose the correct option each time. Let's start with number 1. When I was high school student, I loved history. Number 2. When I was university, I didn't study hard. I graduated physics, the University of Kyoto. 4. I have to prepare my examinations. 5. I study Bristol University. I suggest you pause the video here so you can make a note of your answers. So, let's check the answers. How many did you get correct? I suggest making a note of any you got wrong or ones that you found particularly difficult so that you can focus more on these. Now, we'll get some practice answering an example question. Here is an example question. Tell me about a course you have studied. You should say where and when you studied it, why you took that course, what was good and or bad about it, and explain what you learnt from it. I suggest writing 1 or 2 words per bullet point. Then, when you are speaking, move your hand down as you cover each point. This will help to ensure that you cover all of the points. Let's take another look at the question. The question is, tell me about a course you have studied. You should say where and when you studied it, why you took that course, what was good and or bad about it, and explain what you learnt from it. In my example, I am going to write the following. Edinburgh University, 2011, interesting, 100% exam, and finally, working under pressure. Remember, you have 1 minute to prepare. So, now I have prepared, I am ready for the 2 minutes to start. I would say, well, I took a course in 2011 whilst at Edinburgh University. The course was in International Business. Now I can move on to the next bullet point. And I could say, I took this course because I thought it would be interesting. And I was not wrong. It was very interesting and unlike other courses I was taking at that time, as this class was very small and only had about 30 students in it. I would then move on to the next point and say, the course was 100% exam-based. At first, I imagined that this would be a major drawback of the course, as I was very nervous leading up to the exam. However, I ended up actually enjoying taking the exam, even though it was around 3 hours long. I would then move on to the last point and say, this course taught me about working under pressure. The original negative aspect of the course, it being 100% exam-based, turned out to be what would make the course particularly helpful, as it allowed me to understand my capabilities. Now you have covered all 4 bullet points. You can speak for about 2 minutes about your experiences. Since you have covered all bullet points, you will now be able to talk for 2 minutes on the topic. However, if you still have time left, the examiner will ask you some follow-up questions. Now it's your turn. If you haven't already, please get a pencil and some paper. So, here's your question. Tell me about an influential teacher you had. You should say when they were your teacher, why you liked them, how they helped you, and explain in what ways they influenced you. Remember, you have 1 minute to prepare. You should write 1 or 2 words per bullet point. You can pause the video for 1 minute to practice. Once your 1 minute finishes, your 2 minutes begin. Don't forget to move your hand down as you cover each point. This will ensure that you cover all the points. Let's take a look at the question again. Tell me about an influential teacher you had. You should say when they were your teacher, why you liked them, how they helped you, and explain in what ways they influenced you. When you're finished practicing, remember to check your answer against the marking criteria and think about what could you improve next time. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson. My fellow Intrepid English teachers and I will be back again soon.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, and check out our other videos. You can find loads of useful links in the description below. Let's get started.